the next topic for today's agenda, we say we would like to have a take on Manchester United. Everybody will get a take on Manchester United. What's the real issue? Is it about the players, the system? They can't play the system, or they are not fit for the system, or is the whole issue with the owners, the board? What's the issue? Because teams are being rebuilt within 2 or 3 years, and Charlie, for United over for the past 10 years, I would say nothing. You don't seem to improve on anything. Today, Ole, Moro, Luis Van Gaal. The next time, Jose Mourinho. What's the issue? So JT, Charlie, first blow. What's the issue with Manchester United?
Pressure problems.
So you can you can go for players or coach or board or whatever.
Yes, I think it's a mismatch of different issues. I think definitely there's a problem with the board because they are not football savvy, football people, and they've not strived to put football people in charge. You see, the thing with United was that when you look back at the days of Ferguson, and Ferguson and Gale were basically running everything in the club. So there were a lot of positions that were not filled by people. Ferguson was basically doing everything. So he had people recommending players to him, and then he would go watch players himself or watch them and then make sure they signed them, and then Gale would go and sign them for him. So Ferguson was controlling almost everything in the club. He was like a proper manager. But that was like the old system, right? Football has moved on because football has become this big thing where you have the commercial side, so now a lot of the roles are delegated to other people. And I think United failed to transition into that period where we put people in different spots, right? We still wanted a manager who would control everything. And so when you look at the structures that are in place now, we don't even have a proper scouting network. We don't have a proper scouting team. We don't have a proper recruitment team. It's just something they're trying to work on now because we didn't have something like that. We didn't have we still don't have a director of football. We don't have a proper director of football. So the structures are not there to help a manager come in. So when you look at the past decade, we've had managers come in and basically sign their own players. Then when it doesn't work out, another manager will come in and want to sign a whole new set of players. And so when that happens, you're creating an imbalance because after a while, you have players who fit different systems all together in one same squad. It doesn't help anybody. But then if you have a director of football in place, we know that this is the football the club wants to play. That's one thing at least Barca has right. Barca, with all their financial troubles, has a way of playing that they stick to. And so Barca will always go for some type of players, right? They will never deviate from that. And it helps. It makes things easy. Because then you know that, okay, if we are looking for players, these are the type of players that we're looking for. Barca is not going to sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's not going to happen. Because he cannot play football. And then Barca cannot go for players who can't play football. That's one of the problems. Secondly, standards have been allowed to drop, right? So it's gotten to a point where the club and even the fans to an extent just accept things as they are. Because I feel like at a point, fans should have been working out of stadiums and things. Because the trash the players were dishing out on the pitch, it demanded walk-offs. You sign players like Pogba for close to £80 million, Maguire, and the performances they are giving on the pitch, and you sit through the match. I mean, come on. You should be booing these players. You should be boycotting games. Letting the players know how you feel. But the fans are still there. They are still buying club paraphernalia. The club is getting money. People, this season, before the season started, season tickets were sold out. I mean, if you keep doing that, then these same owners you complain about, you're lining their pockets. So where is the motivation for them to leave, right? They are still cashing out. And then coming to, I think that's all behind the scenes, right? Yeah. Coming to the football itself, I don't want to go so much into the past manager. I want to go on Erik ten Hag as it stands now. Yeah. I think Erik ten Hag hasn't helped himself so far at all. Because coming into the club, I knew that when he got the job before he left Ajax, obviously. When he got the job, I know he must have watched videos. He must have studied the team. I mean, even fans know the players who are trash in Manchester United. So if you ask a small boy on the street, they will tell you that Fred is trash. They will tell you McTominay is trash. He should have known these things before coming into the club. So I felt like coming into United, he should have had a plan in place. Unfortunately for him, like I was saying, there's no system in place where we can give you like a scouting team. One thing United failed to do was Rangnick should have been pushed to a higher position. He should have become like a director of football or something. So that's his strength. They didn't do that. Fine. You came in and now they're basically running with your suggestions. So the coach is now giving his list of players that he wants, because United basically don't have a scouting team, so they've not scouted any players. So it's like, okay, Ten Hag says we should try for this person, then we go and try. So you coming into the club knowing that you have full control over who the club is going to sign at this point in time, I expected much better. I remember before the season we were talking about this, and I said that the club is not very attractive to top footballers now. And so what the club should do is they should go back to, they should build from scratch. So basically you go to a system where you sign up and coming talent, and then over a period when they blossom, then you can now sign established stars. That's what Arsenal did. So Arsenal went, they just brought everything down, started everything from scratch. Young boys from the very talented boys from the academy. You supplement that with a few signings from outside, young and upcoming players, Martinelli, them, you know. And then after a while, you go through periods of pain, but then you know you are building towards something. And that's my tripe with Ten Hag, that he's not been bold enough to do certain things, make certain hard decisions. I thought him coming in was going to signal the end of us seeing Fred and McTominay in midfield. I mean, if you are playing with players like Zidane, Iqbal, and Charlie Savage and Hannibal Bejbri, and we are losing, it makes sense because these are young boys, they are learning. Fans will then understand that, okay, we are going through a period. But then if you don't do that and you continue to persist with the likes of Ronaldo, I mean, look at the first game. I was very surprised at what he did. The first game where we were losing badly, we were not doing so well. The first thing he did was bring in Ronaldo. That is very predictable. That's reverting to type. It made it so easy. It was like, and you are reinforcing the notion that we cannot do without Ronaldo. I mean, that game didn't even need Ronaldo. He came in and didn't do anything. All he had to do was to reshuffle the midfield, bring in ballers, and then push Eriksen upfield. Or bring Eriksen deeper. And we saw that when Eriksen came deeper, we played better. And so that the decisions he had to make. I think some of the choices that he's making right now is really, really terrible for the club. And I think he's not helping himself, because you say, we all understand that the club is in a transitional period. This is a new era. We know some players are shit and shouldn't be at the club. You have to be ruthless. Charlie, even if it means playing with some under 20 players, play them. Let's go through that period. If Manchester United does not want to do the rebuild, Charlie, we are not going anywhere. Manchester United has to accept that the club is no longer here. We have to start from scratch and build everything from scratch. Let's use the small boys. Let's sign low-key players and let's build from there. This signing, we're going after Arnautovic. Can you imagine? Arnautovic. At this point in time, 33-year-old Arnautovic, he even has temperament issues. He has character problems. He's been accused of being racist. He's been accused of being pompous. You want to sign those players and bring them into a club that's already struggling? I mean, Ten Hag, come on. You're not helping yourself. I think we could go on and on. I could go on and on about all the problems that United have. But I think for now, these are like the major problems that the club is facing. Okay. And I think Ten Hag should help himself.
Okay. Come on.
Right. So for me...
your take.
Yeah, my take is quite straightforward. I think from top to down, the United team, they have big issues from top to down, from CEO down to director of football, to the manager himself, backroom staff, the playing body. I think I was expecting first 2 games of the season, you're expecting even the guys from the championship, they are coming with different energy. We are seeing Fulham, Mitrovic turning people inside out. I was expecting that from them because, they had a full preseason with the manager. But from the looks of things, the team is not good enough. I've reiterated the point that I think if they want to rebuild the team, they have to start. Preseason, we saw him play Ghana, the guy I like, the Zidane guy. First game, then you go back to factory settings and you play McTominay and that. Mate,
I understand.
You've lost the plot. For me, I just feel like the whole team has to be stripped. Just like your previous manager said. He said it's open heart surgery. That is what has to happen there. Whole team starts. So maybe what United can do now is to adopt the Barca model. Buy 5 players. If they don't want to go, push them out. It's simple as that. Because the guys are earning huge salaries, so they don't want to leave. And the fan base is delusional. They keep saying, oh God, Rashford is He's just a Dele Alli from you, like the same pattern Dele Alli went. He peaked 2 years, then downhill. Now he can't play again. Now they've forgotten how to play the football. It's a result business. Strip them down. I mean, the Ronaldo take JT was talking about, you don't do stop gaps when your team is ailing like this. United is down bad, so you don't have to do a stop gap by saying, oh, when we put Ronaldo there, we'll get 5 goals. Listen, the United thing has to be stripped from top to down. Basis, you start with the guys, because now you are losing playing the guys you think are experienced.
Wow.
Charlie, if I think about Bruno Fernandes, then I'm getting headaches. Today he had some shot there. The way Bruno, you see, I know the Premier League, the time to react and take shots, you have to be quick on it. But listen, the guy doesn't look around, engages. I'm just wondering, Sancho can beat a man one-on-one. I was wondering what's going on. I mean, today, and I don't know why. Maybe we don't see the training videos, but why does every manager want to play Fred? I mean, the bright spot in their team now is Eriksen. Today, he was playing central midfield. You could see him playing central midfield. He understands football. So at least they could start the rebuild around guys like this. Guys who will take their time, and the goalkeeper has to go. Everybody has to go. The club top down. But the Zidane guy has to be in the team because he's not scared to show for the ball. For me, if you're a team and you're trying to build, your players have to come for the ball. Fred, he's scared. I don't know, and you give it to him to listen. One basic thing I saw in that first game, I think United played Brighton. My small football knowledge, let me tell you, I believe that every midfielder, you take the ball on a half turn.
Okay.
McTominay, Fred, they take the ball facing their own goal post. So how would they even attack? They'll go back first. But you look at the Brighton guys, they take the ball on a half turn, they turn, and that's what the Zidane guy has. I think United as of now has to be stripped from top to down and start a rebuild. 5 players between now and the end of the transfer window. Push the rest out. They should give them the money. They should go. Else the whole season they'll suffer.
Okay. I think the guys who started before me have said it all. So I'll just speak a bit of it and express myself on it. So my biggest take is that United is not run as a football club. And then I think it's something that everybody knows. Even in the media, everybody knows United is not run as a football club. I was talking to, before I jumped on this piece, I was talking to somebody, I was telling the person that United is run as a business, and then in terms of football, it's run as if it's a conference league club. Because you realize that how many teams have players from about 5 years ago, as in 5 seasons, 10 seasons ago. Phil Jones is still in our club. How do you give Phil Jones a contract? How do you hold on to players? Pogba should have been sold 2 seasons before he became free. How do you keep on holding onto Pogba till it gets to a certain level where Pogba is gone for free? The way they run the club from top to bottom, the owners are running it as a business and they don't know anything about football. Naturally, what you do is you put football people for them to get the football decisions right. Every single decision that United has made has been terrible. Since Ferguson left, as Odie said, since Ferguson left, nobody has made a decision which makes sense in terms of hiring coaches, in terms of meeting systems. You look at a team like Barcelona, like JT gave an example. They have a system, and so the people they bring in power, they know what they are coming to do. The coach they want to hire, they hire you based on a system you play. The players they buy them based on a system. So everything is structured. Even though their financial side is run horribly, they have a system which is there, and then you come in, import your stuff into the system, and then you run it. I don't know why United is being run haphazardly. Every coach comes with their idea, a different player, they sell the player. They don't even know how to kick out players. They are not ruthless enough. They want to be as if, we are a club who takes players, makes them better. Every single player who came to United since Ferguson left has deteriorated from time to time to time to time to time. If you watch Sanchez, he became bad. All the players who picked, who were good when they came in, they started dropping. And that is how bad the club has been run. From the owner to the people they hire, and they keep on making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. 4 seasons ago, we bought Ighalo, I think, 4 seasons or so. We bought Ighalo as a stopgap measure, but he was old. After Ighalo left, we bought Cavani. Same old situation, same stopgap measure. After Cavani left, we bought Ronaldo. Same situation, stopgap measure. You sign players based on sentimentality. And you think you are going to progress. People are signing players based on footballing reasons. Look at Antonio Conte. He had Højbjerg. Before he signed, what is his name? This player from Juventus. So I'm asking myself, how is United being run in such a big football club? It's being run like a conference league. If I want to continue, there are so many problems, but I'm going to leave the rest of the guys to continue. I'm going to leave the rest of the guys. I'm so emotional, so I'm all over that.
Okay, so for me, I want to start off by piggying back from what JT started off with. That looking at the time at which Ten Hag was signed, he had a lot of time to actually prepare. Look at the profile of the players, because one thing that most of the people that I had discussions with before the match, when we looked at the lineup, was like the profile of the midfielders was really, really dicey. And when the game started, it showed an imbalance in the fact that we didn't have anybody that had a correct DM profile, somebody who breaks attack, somebody, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Fred have coaches have tried to deploy Fred in that regard, but he's always not done the job. He's not effectively been able to read the passes, break tackles, and do all of the defensive aspect of the game as he should. So you are going to play a game where you're going to play a high line because you're going to possess the ball. You're going to play a Brentford team that is very organized, that will sit back and hit you with a counter, who actually have very good ball players. They're able to pass in between spaces. So when you look at this Brentford setup and going in and you filled such a midfield, it's I don't know what you are doing. So for me, and when you look at the game, when they started playing from the back, and for me it's if you even want to play from the back, right, what is the structure? What have you told the players? Because if we see time and time again, if you are going to play from the back, you'll be pressed. So if you are the person who is supposed to be the pivot or the outlet for the passes, if that person is taken out of the game, what do you do? It means the other central midfielders have to come in or fall back and also create the avenues for getting the ball out. But I didn't see that. And it happened 2 times before the second goal was actually conceded. And for me, I'm thinking even if the coach hasn't done all of this in the coaching, and as a player you're on the field, then you are seeing this, that we are not able to get the ball out. What do you do? Common sense should tell you that you should come out and try and get the ball and take the ball. It's you're standing there, you're expecting the ball to come. You're realizing that the players that are supposed to bring the ball are suffering. You understand? So for me, it's I think Ten Hag had it wrong with the lineup, and they may need a lot more work to do with implementing the system, the possession. I don't know exactly how he wants to do it. Every coach has the possession based and playing from the back varies with every coach, and I don't know how exactly Ten Hag wants to do it because I've not followed how exactly he did it in Ajax. So that's all I would say. That it's we can blame the players all we want, but I think for this one, some of the blame has to go to the coach because of his lineup, and yeah, that's all I would say.